Testing. Testing. Yes. People are in. Fuck yeah. I didn't think I was going to be able to figure this out tonight. Sweet. I'm not even ready to go. I wasn't expecting anything to work out. This is tight. This is tight. Okay. What's up, everybody? How do you guys want to do this? I feel like for this first one, I'll just answer some questions or talk to you guys about whatever. I wanted to do a full-on girls Danny had sex with podcast, but to be honest, I'm not prepared. I still have to write tonight. I've been editing for I don't even know how many hours since about 6 a.m. It's been gnarly. The hottest fan contest coming up. It's gonna be sweet. Way better than last year. Way funnier. Way hotter chicks. No Mexican dude with his dick out this time. Did that happen in last year's fan contest? D-Mall in the flesh. How's LA? How do you write so beautifully, but you can't set up a live stream? Those are two very different skill sets. One has 0 technical components, and one involves a bunch of software and programs I've never used before. I don't wanna write your English essay. Somebody asked, "How's LA?" "What's up?" That's Nikolai. Nikolai, if I'm not mistaken, is a young man from New Zealand. Very dedicated fan. Buys every piece of merch always, and, so I'm gonna answer his question. Nikolai, LA is a little rainy today. You can drive and get places now because of the coronavirus. What that's done is it's taken all the traffic off the roads. So I'm driving down Sunset Boulevard right into the heart of Hollywood, and it feels like I'm back home in Orangevale. It's actually pretty cool. It's much easier to enjoy LA from a car when there's no traffic. but obviously I miss being able to do all the things I need to do in my daily life to support this operation. My parents just mail ordered me some groceries out of pity. The lines at our supermarkets are probably about an hour just to get in, and I'm so backed up with editing and writing, I don't wanna go do that right now. Do you prefer Morrissey or the Smiths? Asks, Grungy Burger. The Smiths, dude. The Smiths, way better songs because Johnny Marr's writing the music. Hottest Fan Contest Part 2, instant banger. Dude, 2 sets of titties come out, and one is, I believe, an F or an H cup. It's gonna be big. Some really creative writing too. I'm happy about it. What do you think about Ferguson versus Gaethje? That's a UFC fight, Corey's asking about. I'm obviously pissed that Khabib versus Tony Ferguson isn't happening. That fight, I've been psyched for it so many times. When I lived in Vegas, it was booked for the 2nd or 3rd time. One of them, I wanna say Khabib, passed out in a bathtub the night before the fight because he cut too much weight. That was a huge disappointment, of course. Tony Ferguson. I accidentally got a little crazy on the PKA podcast I was on recently, and I started talking a lot of shit about him and his wife. And then I found out afterwards, not very convenient timing, that he was insane and that he's been arrested, like bloody, fucking hopping over neighbors' fences, exhibiting clear symptoms of CTE. And he lives in LA, what's more. So I regret those comments I made about him and his wife. Somebody asked me to ever go to Florida for a video. I'd like to. I don't know what I would do, but it's sunny. There are beaches. There isn't much tax. I don't know where that would come in handy. I guess in sales tax when I'm buying a pack of gum at the supermarket. Go visit Danny Duncan? I don't know. Shout out from Brazil. Where's the legend Griffin Starr? I don't know where Griffin Starr. I haven't talked to him in a while, man. He's an old school patron. Danny, favorite talk show host? Asks Alexander. Conan O'Brien. I guess I should probably support that. It would be Jimmy Kimmel based on his old stuff he did with Adam Carolla, The Man Show, his appearances on Loveline. I still respect him, but my problem with him and my problem with all talk show hosts, including Conan O'Brien, is that they have to get political to appease the networks and their audience. So they have to all pretend they hate Trump. They all have to go to various impoverished countries and do these little, oh, look at the poor people. We need to respect their culture think pieces. So I don't like when it gets political, but I think Conan's a really talented performer. And I watch his Conan Without Borders series on Netflix for inspiration. I've been watching that this year and I've been learning a lot from him. He's a really good performer. He used to write for The Simpsons. I like him. A good intellectual comedian. Thoughts on albinos? I don't like them, buddy. Moving down to Abe Glasser. You've touched on it in various videos and podcasts, but it'd be great to get a consolidated answer. What are the steps someone can take to become more productive? Hmm. Went for a 4 or 5 mile run, came back, finished editing the Churdley's podcast, then got back in to my main channel editing, the hottest fan contest. Now I'm doing this, and then I'm about to write. But even with that, I jerked off. I spent a little too much time talking to my roommates. Maybe I dig into my Instagram direct messages and send 1 or 2 messages that don't need to be sent. Having conversations that don't need to be had. Uh, I fucking get up and snack on food throughout the day. I drink these sparkling waters by the dozen. I waste time here and there. I'm still trying to get rid of. But that didn't really answer your question. What are the steps somebody can do to be more productive? The big ones that have helped me this year, and I felt so much more productive this year and so much more sane because of it. Do I sound okay, by the way, guys? Can somebody just sound off and let me know if this mic is working? I would appreciate that. I'm gonna get down to all of you guys. Uh, the step that I would recommend for being more productive, the two. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad this mic's working. That's awesome. The 2 steps that I would recommend for being more productive: wake up really early, 6 a.m. if you can. If you're a bouncer at a nightclub, if you're a bartender or a security guard at a bank overnight, this isn't going to work. But if you wake up early, you're going to feel like a badass. You're going to be channeling your inner Navy SEAL. And then once you're up, make your bed. I've said this on podcasts, as Abe, I believe your name was. I'm sorry, man. I'm still, I didn't even expect this to work, so I'm out of it right now. Yeah, Abe. I would say get up at 6 a.m. and make your bed right away. When you do that, as opposed to rolling out of bed at 11:30 and leaving your sheets and your comforter bunched up in a ball down by your feet. If you get up at 6 and make the bed, you did something hard, waking up early, and you made your bed, which is something disciplined. And then from there, it's gonna hurt when you make bad choices from there on out because you're gonna already feel like you've gotten your day going strong. So when you walk out into your living room and pull up your computer and start watching YouTube videos that you don't need to watch, that's going to feel like a waste of time. When you go out into the garage and smoke a bowl with your roommates at 1 p.m., you're going to feel guilty about that if you'd started your day so strong. So, discipline is a momentum thing. Start with momentum on your side. Sir Mullen, thoughts on McMars? Dude, I don't have much of an opinion on McMars. He drinks a lot and he's old and his back is fucked up. That's the guitarist for Motley Crue. Khabib is a bitch. I don't think you can get to being 900-0 as far as his MMA win-loss record or whatever it is by being a bitch. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, Tom's asking about a Fear and Loathing type video. I would love it, man. Until Rat Dick got in all this trouble, he would have been the ideal guy to do it with. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Leo. I'm afraid to do psychedelics. I'm not going to do psychedelics, but I'm going to drink and smoke my ass off. And it's going to be really narration heavy. So a lot of the jokes and clever writing is going to be done through the narration. So I can just get as high and as drunk as possible and not rely on my performance skills to make or break the video. Because I'm not going to be funny when I smoke a bunch of blunts and joints to my face. I'd like to do that though, man. Get the costumes going, rent a red convertible. If only the Mint Hotel were still in business in downtown Las Vegas. Fear and Loathing video is going to happen. Hopefully, right when the quarantine is lifted. What's up, Caleb? Caleb? The podcast is already up, dude. It's me and Shirtley's talking about pussy and money. It's very honest, very good stuff. Vatox or Vatox. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. I know a 60-year-old lady who sets up her Saturday drunk streams better than you. Well, she's probably done a bunch of them. She's a lot older. She's got more experience. Where do you see Fanjerry in 10 years? Fanjerry's got a good job, and I hope he stays a part of my crew and has some sort of entertainment job with me or works for me in some capacity. I like Fanjerry a lot. I've had Fanjerry around for 2 years, and I can hang out with him as a friend even when we're not filming. Even when I don't have him dressed up as a mermaid or have him blacked out and I'm not paying a girl $100 to kiss him. Tony Ferguson, the type of guy to come after D-Mall over a PKA clip. I agree. Come to Miami, Danny. I'll house you and your homies. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Alexander says, yes, sir. Conan O'Brien, daddy. Also, would you do the PKA again? You got going on there. You going on there got me into them as well. That's cool, man. I'm glad I could give back to their show. I would love to go back on. The PKA podcast is a gaming thing primarily. It's been out for about 10 years. The guys, though, are really heavily influenced by all the same people I am. Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern, Adam Carolla. So it's one of the rare online radio shows where my sensibilities are the same as the other hosts. A lot of times, the podcasts that are going around these days, the people don't know what they're doing. They just have an audience from their main YouTube channel, so they start a podcast, but they're not good at it. That's not the case with the PKA guys. They're very good, and I like being on there. Joao, did I say that right? Joao, it's a very Portuguese name. Oh yeah, I've seen the DePaulo comedy stuff. I love how little fucks he gives. He's talking about Nick DePaulo. Nick DePaulo is one of my favorite stand-up comedians. If you guys have Amazon Prime, which I assume you all do, check out Raw Nerve. It's a great stand-up special by Nick DePaulo. Danny, are you a fan of the Jackass crew and series? You give off a Johnny Knoxville vibe to me, or although you guys do different stuff. Big fan of Jackass, especially as a kid. I still love the 3 movies, they're all great. As far as if they influence me, I'm not so sure. I guess a little bit, probably subconsciously. Anything that I've watched as much as Jackass, even if it was a decade ago, some of that influence has gotta be lodged in me. A show that I rewatched a little bit, I was writing for Danny Duncan last year, and he really liked Rob and Big, and I rewatched a few of those episodes, and I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the comedy and the writing in there. A very good show. I blow it live, guys. I swear I'm gonna get better at this. Uh, Alexander says, "I like how Conan stays out of politics." I don't think he does, man. On the Conan Without Borders, that was my biggest gripe. Not the Cuba episode, the Haiti episode, the Mexico episode, it was only political, and it was distracting. How different are UCLA and USC if money wasn't a factor? Daniel Bradford is asking about colleges. I prefer UCLA almost all the way. The only thing that's better about USC is the social life. It sounds like the frats party harder. It sounds like they aren't as big of douchebags to each other either. At UCLA, it's really competitive. If you're in a frat, you have to hate all the other frats, but the campus is better looking. You say money isn't a factor, but dude, money should be a factor. If your parents are paying for it, tell them to give you the extra 30 grand you'd be spending on USC every year. It's not worth it. Go to USC, dude. Opinions on Radiohead favorite album? I don't like the first 2 albums, The Benz or Pablo Honey. OK Computer is sweet. I love the song Let Down so much. I like listening to Kid A, that song Motion Picture Soundtrack it ends with. My favorite Radiohead song, though, is Polyethylene Parts 1 and 2. It ended a Jason Dill or it ended an Alien Workshop video called Photosynthesis. It's a skateboard video. It was Jason Dill's song in the last part, and I've loved it ever since. I think I was in 5th grade when I saw that, and that introduced me to Radiohead. Danny, how's it going, King? Says Logan. It's going good, man. Come to Canada, man. I've been waiting. I need to get my passport back in order. That's my issue right now is my passport's expired, and I have so little time, and I'm so lazy. Tom Cove wants a shout out for New Hampshire. What's up, man? Yeah, Tom, New fucking Hampshire. Great state. We all forget about the Northeast from time to time, and it's inexcusable. Luck Buzz wants to know when the next Girls I Had Sex With is dropping. Dude, I want to do it hopefully Friday, man. I want to do it live, and I'll do 3 girls at a time as usual, but I'll do the first one, take some questions, do the second one, take some questions, do the third one, take some questions. We'll keep playing with this. I like going live, man. I feel like, we gotta play with the Patreon system more. It's cool. It's way easier for me to talk to you guys one-on-one this way. It's too overwhelming to go live on my main channel. And then also, there aren't as many fucking assholes in here because you guys wouldn't be here if you hated me. Mike is good. PK is currently in flames. Been some real drama the last couple days. Probably going to result in a host migration or a new manager. Vatox, can you tell me more about that? That doesn't sound good at all. I'm curious if you could just punch in a quick paragraph. Bit of delay. Sorry, Nikolai, about this. It's lagging every now and then. It's slightly delayed, but it's I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch this back. Caleb Daniels retracted a message. Better not have been anything offensive. Hey, made it. Favorite genre of porn? Asks Grungy Burger. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I jerked off today to a video of 2 Asian girls and 1 white girl giving a triple blowjob to a guy. One girl was licking his ass, another was licking his balls, another was sucking his cock, and I find myself watching those videos a lot. I like watching girls with freakishly huge tits. This girl, Marilyn Sakova, I think her name is. She's a Russian girl who got breast cancer and had to get her titties removed, more or less. But before that happened, she had the most ridiculously large and perfect set of natural tits. Go look her up. I masturbated to her a lot. Pegging, says Corey Baker. Yeah, I watch a little, not a lot. I watch less of that than the triple blowjob videos for sure. How do you manage to be such a pimp? They say it ain't easy, but I'm here to tell you, Michael, it actually is. Discipline equals freedom. That's a good book, Frosty. Yeah. Have you ever considered coming down to Portland, Oregon for a video? It's full of crackheads, left-wing feminists every day and night. We wanted to get going a fake Antifa video, and it's going to happen at some point. One of Leo's buddies was going to drive up there, and he was going to drive us up there and pay for the Airbnb, and it just didn't end up happening. But it's something I really want to do, man. There is so much potential for a fake Antifa video. Favorite car or dream car? Asks Broken Porsche Fixer. I feel pressured to say Porsche now because it sounds like you make your living repairing those things. I'm not materialistic. If I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't really want anything nicer than a Cadillac Escalade or just a big, safe, comfortable car. If I get to the point where I'm making multiple hundreds of thousands a year, $200,000, $300,000 a year, maybe I'll lease a Toyota Highlander or just a Japanese SUV. If you have a new car, you're not going to pick up a girl on the first date. She's not going to lay eyes on it, scoff, and then go back into her house. If you're driving something new, it's fine. In the eyes of society, you're a success. Fan Jerry keeps telling me he wants to buy some new $60,000 Jeep truck. And I tell him, Jerry, you're already in debt and broke. Just get a new fucking Civic. Get a new Corolla. That's all you need, dude. Or fucking lease that. And maybe not even new. People are under the impression that the luxury car is going to fill the hole in their soul. That's not it. I'm sorry. I need to come on here more fired up. It's been a long fucking day, guys. I got a lot of opinions about cars, and I can't get them out right now. Microdose them, says AAH. I don't know what I'm supposed to microdose. Can you go over his legal troubles? I assume Rat Dick Ralph's legal troubles. I can't really, guys. I can say he's in jail. Rat Dick Ralph's in jail, but I've been asked specifically by Rat Pussy Pam not to say why, and I will honor her requests. Do you think you can do a cage match with Iggy versus Rat Dick to squash the beef? That sounds fucking sweet, but I don't know, man. Rat Dick didn't handle the very minor amount of fame well, and I have no reason to believe he's going to start handling it well once he gets out of jail. Cadillac asks, what's the number one book you'd recommend for becoming a more disciplined, productive person? My answer changes a lot because there have been about 4 in my life that have all felt like they've had the same impact on me. So it's hard to say which one is the one. I'm just going to name them all. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's Napoleon Hill, right? 10X by Grant Cardone. Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink. And Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, which might come as a surprise for any of you who watched the camping survival video. But that book's been firing me up lately. The books that really put me on the trajectory that I'm on today, though, was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and 10X by Grant Cardone. So I'm going to go with those as my 2. And I've got a bunch of other good stuff right now that I can't wait to dig into. Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, a bunch of interviews with highly successful people about their habits. I can't wait to get to that one. There are just some other books I'm finishing up right now. Do you feel as if Dominic Reyes was robbed in the John Jones fight? You know, man, if that's his most recent fight, I felt like Dominic Reyes was going to win, but the champ is going to get the nod, especially now that the UFC is essentially corrupt. They're $4 billion in the hole. They need to make some money. They're not gonna dethrone John Jones unless the other fighter finishes him. That's how the judging's just gonna go, dude. They need their fucking stars. Gotta do coke, I assume he's talking about for the Fear and Loathing video. You can't do it on YouTube, though. Danny, you refused to smoke with me at the NYC comedy show, you nervous pussy. Sorry, Jake, but when you're getting on stage for the second time to do stand-up and you've only done about 3 open mics before that, a head full of weed is not what you need before you go perform. That show was already fucking hard enough. I was already way too drunk. But, that's sweet, man. I'm glad you came out to the show. I appreciate that. That was fucking awesome. I'm gonna look back on stand-up just takes too much time for me. For me to become a competent stand-up, it would take 2 years, I think. I could probably do it in 1 year of just dedicated work, getting up all the time, writing all the time, getting up on stage, that is. And I just don't have that time right now because YouTube is what's paying my bills. YouTube is where all my success is. I'm not going to abandon it. I've worked too hard to have things in my life going this good. I've been working for 7 years to get my life where it is today, and I don't want to jeopardize that by trying out a new art form. Book recommendations for quarantine? Mm, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, dude. Have you already read that? If not, give it a fucking whirl. There's going to be a video on it shortly, so why not? Have you already started working on the Hottest Fan Contest Part 2? I'm sorry, I lost my place here. Yes, it's already been filmed. It's obviously already been written because it's already been filmed. And I'm tearing through the edits. To be honest with you guys, I hope I can get it out by Thursday, but it might be a Friday video. To do it justice and to make sure it's as good as I want it to be, it might be on Friday. Neely asks, Danny, should I chase this seemingly innocent Christian stunner in my uni? Or should I wait for someone who parallels my belief in life? I say chase her. Just because she's Christian doesn't necessarily mean she won't fuck. You never know with those girls. Sometimes they're about what they pray about, meaning they do hold out till fucking marriage. They don't drink. They won't even give you a hand job on the first date. And if that's the case, whatever. You'll have wasted 2 evenings of your life if you pursue her. But a lot of times, those girls who have the crucifix on their neck, who have a Bible on their bedstand or their nightstand, they'll meet you at a frat party hammered and suck your cock in a closet. So go for it, dude. Would you be upset if your GF was blacked? Says ZK Boost. Yeah, if I stumbled across a video of her on blacked.com, I would probably watch it with my jaw on the floor and then give her the phone call letting her know we were breaking up. Caleb Daniel says, when's Hottest Fan Contest Part 2 coming out? I just answered that. Love the format of the first one. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Why'd you only do one MMA fight? Then stop, bro. You got that easy W that first match, says AH. I didn't want to be an MMA fighter because I didn't want to. I just knew when I was in the gym training all the time that it wasn't going to happen for me. I didn't like getting hit. I'm not athletic enough. I'm skinny. I'm slow. I don't have a lot of fast twitch. In jiu-jitsu, that stuff works. Jiu-jitsu is such a strategy game. I used to liken it to playing Dungeons and Dragons or Final Fantasy. You have your game and your strategies, and you can select moves and techniques that work with a long, lanky body type. And you can be just as effective as the guy who's on steroids and outweighs you by 30 pounds and is way more athletic. But MMA, first of all, you take off the gi, which slows down the game and makes it more strategic. You add a bunch of sweat by doing that. And then also the rounds are only 5 minutes and they start on the feet with a guy who might not have any interest in going to the ground with you, which means I'd have to develop a striking game. I didn't wrestle in high school or college, so I was way behind a lot of the other people in MMA who had that background nailed down. And then they just had to learn a Kimura, a rear naked choke, and learn a jab cross 1-2 or whatever. Um, My body's too fragile, I was too far behind, and then plus I just knew how shitty it is to be an MMA fighter. My YouTube friends are making way more money than even guys like TJ Dillashaw, who's about as successful as an MMA fighter can be. Well, that's not true, but he's certainly in the top tier of MMA fighters. Multiple time world champion. There are the McGregors. There are the John Joneses who have fuck you retirement money. But for the very vast majority of fighters, they get into the UFC, have 3 or 4 fights, lose 2 of them, get cut, fight in a couple smaller shows, give up on the dream, retire with no money and nothing to show for it. It's a sad life, MMA. It's not something I wanted to pursue. Tom W says he'd love to show me around his city just below London. I would love to come to the UK, man. I would love it so much. I love England. So many of my heroes are English musicians, comedians. Be a great place to come visit. I'm into it, Tom. I just don't have the money yet, man. Jackhammer Jeremy keeping up with the at-home workouts? Fuck yeah, he is. All he needs is a garage, his 35-pound plates, and a half pound of organic grass-fed beef, baby. Danny, would you come if you could recommend 5 of your favorite books for personal growth? Alexander, I think I did. Well, I named 4, so let me name a 5th. The Bible. That's what you need. I'll give you a real answer. I don't know, dude. Start with those 4. You haven't read all 4 of those yet. You're not right. You're in no position to get mad at me for not naming a 5th. If you film with Ratic again and he's tripping on psychedelics, you should try to convince him that he's a superhero and stage fake robberies and see what he does. Dude, Jimbo, I'm upset, man. The opportunities with Ratic were unlimited. I wanted to go skydiving with him when he was on acid. I wanted to take him paintballing. I wanted to do the Fear and Loathing video with him. He was going to be Dr. Gonzo riding shotgun in a convertible with me on the way to Vegas with a head full of sunshine acid, but I can't now. And I have a really hard time believing that when he gets out of jail, he's going to be suddenly humble. So I don't think it's going to happen, man. Danny, do you have a book recommendation for somebody who likes to smoke cigarettes? Or I'm sorry, I missed one. Danny, can you say my name so I can use you saying it for my voicemail recording? Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Josh Hill. You better leave a message, but you better be concise. I don't got all day to listen to your bull. Was that good, Josh? Danny, do you have a book recommendation for somebody who likes to smoke cigarettes and read Cormac McCarthy? Philip Roth, Portnoy's Complaint is a comic masterpiece. It's hilarious. It's a great fucking read. Bright Lights, Big City by Jay McInerney. Those are 2 that came to mind. Check them out. Jackass 2.5 is the best. I've seen a little bit of it, and I liked what I saw. You're my favorite comedian and YouTuber. 231 Tyler. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Thank you all the guys who are, or maybe some girls too, who are in this stream. I can't stress enough that Patreon's my biggest source of income. It's what keeps me ordering props on Amazon, paying my filmer, thumbnail guy, putting gas in my car to drive out and film places. You guys are what makes the channel great. So thank you so fucking much. And I want to keep thinking up ways to make the content better on here to give you guys your money's worth. You're my favorite comedian and YouTuber. I came here from PKA, watched it from the beginning. Fuck yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Vatox. Book recommendations for quarantine. You might have been picking a few up as this has gone along. I'm guessing you've seen the Louis C.K. special. If you haven't, it's $8 on his website. Hilarious comeback from my favorite recent special since Chappelle. Yeah, man. I really liked it. I need to watch it again. I was a little tired. Not my favorite Louis. It didn't feel as masterpiecey as 2017. I loved 2017. That BC AD bit was pure genius. There were a lot of good things he had going on. I liked the my friend told me that he didn't believe Jesus was a Jew. That was a great bit, but they just felt a little undercooked. They didn't feel like he'd worked him out as much as he'd worked out some of the 2017 bits. And I would have liked him to have spent more time on how shitty his life was after the jerk off incident. I wanted to hear about the hellish 3 weeks he spent barricaded in his apartment, no doubt, after the news broke. Him fleeing abroad, him meeting his new girlfriend, how his ex wife reacted to it, how his daughters reacted to it. Maybe I get why he didn't do that because it would date it. And I feel like he wants to keep his specials a little timeless. What gives me that idea is in the 2017 special, when he mentioned a date specific thing, he mentioned in the movie, for example, Magic Mike. He was very careful to break down. For those of you who are watching this in the future and don't know what this movie is, it is a fun little movie about male strippers. He's very careful to, unlike Aziz Ansari or some shithead, not good comedian, they'll just throw out pop references like there's no tomorrow and not explain those to anybody because they probably understand that nobody's going to give a shit about their comedy in 10 years. So maybe that's why Louis was reluctant to do that, but I was hoping for it. Still a great special, though. Still one of my favorites that I've seen recently. I hate criticizing. Yeah, Barbershop Evan was just mentioned. He's been great, man. He got a little shaken up because of the That's Racist video. He got his ID taken from the cop because he had an outstanding traffic ticket or something. He doesn't like dealing with the police. He's really afraid to get arrested. I don't know if he's had trouble with that in the past or he's paranoid because he thinks the cops are all racist. But that shook him up a little bit. He says he's certainly down for another party video. So I see him coming back for our annual 4th of July video 100% up in Tahoe. I see him coming back for that if this quarantine ever gets lifted. Thoughts on Roman Polanski? He's a pedophile. I don't really have an opinion. I'm sorry. I haven't looked into any of his artwork, so I can't comment on that. Why did you have to live stream as I'm driving? Dude, I'm going to keep doing these. I'll do one of these once a week. We're when can you do stuff without having to fuck with people? Don't you know what's going on, but still include them is always good. I come here to not get comedic advice. Fucking juice box. I don't want to block this guy. I'm just gonna let it be a person. Daniel Mullen is a man of exquisite taste. I agree. What is Juicebox talking about? I'm sorry. Like, all right, yeah, Juicebox. I'm gonna give you my personal email address so you can give me more pointers, like when you can do stuff without having to fuck with people that don't know what's going on, but still include them is always good. What is that? Doesn't mean anything. My favorite video is picking up girls while high. Do you agree, Mark? I think that's a really, really good video. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got high stakes conflict, the feminists at the beginning. It's got a funny little scripted part, the library bat incident, and then it's got the playful game element, those with the offensive phrases we're reading off. I love that video, man. I personally think the best videos I've ever done. Maybe I've ruined a parade just because it's such a one of a kind, never going to be able to happen again type thing. And I have a huge soft spot for fake psychology experiment and yelling rape and Target. That fairy tale video, that is something special. That's a display of all the best things I do. This last video was a really good little improvised one too, the Vegas one. A shout out from England. What's up, Corey? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Abe Glasser or Glazer says, "Come to Atlanta on the street. Comedy would be unreal here. Such a good mix of people to fuck with." Yeah, man, I'd like to get down south a lot. What's the story behind the Benedict Arnold? I think I've told this a lot, Daniel, but the Benedict Arnold was a sex move I invented. And I think I invented it before I did it. But the idea is you're double teaming a girl, and then without your buddy knowing it or expecting it, you pull out and you come on him when he's not looking, like when he's having sex with a chick. And then we did that when I lived at 74 Eastwood Drive in San Francisco. You guys can look it up, see my old house, Street View. There were 9 guys in there, and we were all in our mid-20s and drunk and young and chasing pussy all the time. So orgies would break out. I walked downstairs one day, and 2 of my buddies were double teaming this big fat girl. One of them was wearing the Red Robin, it's a restaurant, mascot head. It completely enveloped his skull. He couldn't see very well. After they both came, I went in and got a blowjob from this chick. I never met her before in my life. Just walked in there and asked. She got me hard, got me to the brink of coming. I ran into the bathroom and kept myself going and got myself to the very brink of climax. The other two guys who had just fucked her, they were dicking around, like refreshing their drinks in one of the other downstairs rooms. I tiptoed in there because you have to keep your legs locked out when you're about to climax. While the orgasm sensation was still welling up, tiptoed across the little hallway area, got in there, timed it perfectly, came all over my buddy's arm while he was wearing the Red Robin helmet. He didn't even know what was going on. He just felt something warm, ripped off the helmet, and was just went, oh, fuck, you bastard. That was a Benedict Arnold. I came on a guy during a double team. Will Leo be returning to the podcast next episode? He said he will be. He said he's ready to go next week. Thanks, man. Thanks for checking in, Wayne. Kyle H, favorite Sublime song? I really like Garden Grove. I love the everyday depressed lyrics. They're not super up in my head Shakespearean love poetry style sad lyrics. Just feeling depressed every day, picking my dog up at the pound. Why am I just forgetting all the lyrics? I love that song and I can't think of any of them right now. I like that song though. It's great. Go to a feminist convention and spit some bullshit like Borat did. Yeah, I'd love to, man. I've started to read the LA Times more to keep up on current events in LA. And if I keep doing that, that'll help me. What is going on? I'm accidentally clicking stuff. That'll help me find the feminist conventions and go fuck with them. Also, Danny Woodhead ran a 4.3 at the combine. That's ridiculous. I don't know too much about the draft prospects. I'm not that big of a football guy. I'm a casual football fan. I'm kind of a football noob. Though I pretend I'm not on the podcast. I pretend I'm a superior football athlete. Uh, Thanks, Keith. Keith says he really likes the Churdleys podcast we just posted. I think it's pretty cool. We get deep. You're going to hear two YouTubers talking about groupies and money without any kind of filter. It's good stuff. Can you make a list of books you recommend on Patreon? People ask me that a lot. I feel like I've given you guys a lot of hot leads. If you've read everything I've recommended in all of my AMAs in this live stream, fucking props on you. I feel like I've recommended the same 8 books over and over, and I'd start with those. But if you guys want more, I can try to put something together. Is smoking some ganja. I'm smoking some ganja, big chillin' with Dan Man. This is great. What's up, Daddy Sassin? I'm glad you're enjoying it. Are you planning on doing another Worst Town in America video? Yeah, Lane. I didn't want to for a while because I thought the last one was so goddamn good. The Orangevale one, it had the personal touch because it was my hometown. Not only did it have that triumphant parade bit, but the Taco Bell thing was fucking rad. That guy's a patron, by the way. I couldn't believe it. The guy at the register, because he looked so upset with us and so not my demo. But I guess he's actually a military guy. The kid who was at the cash register in the Taco Bell Orangevale I ruined the parade video. That's getting kicked out by the cops. I have this romance toward my hometown of Orangevale in the summer too. So many good memories of that place in the summer. And that video was shot June 1st, which I see as the real start date of summer, not the equinox or whatever. Or the solstice. I'm sorry. I don't fucking know. So yeah, I love that video. What the fuck are we talking about? Worst town in America? Yeah. So I was afraid to do another one because I knew it probably wouldn't be as good as that. But I'm starting to realize now, dude, I'm on YouTube for the long term, and there are going to be videos that aren't as good as other videos. But as long as I keep developing my writing and keep trying new stuff, as long as the videos are different, I'm okay with them not being as good as the last one. They're still going to be long. They're still going to be packed full of content that I'm comfortable putting out. And if I'm comfortable putting it out, I know I work hard enough that it's going to be worth watching. So yeah, for the next one, I want to fly out to Montana or Alaska or some out of the way state And, yeah, give fucking worst town in America another try. I'm excited for the Portland vid, says, 231 Tyler. Hell yeah, dude. Danny, I've been here since 4,000 subs. I'm currently trying to get the whole crew to follow me. So far, I only have Neeks, Calabi, Perez. Dude, you don't need the whole crew to follow you. Thanks for being here since 4,000 subs, but I mean, what is that going to really do for you in your life? I don't know. I mean, shoot Fanjari a message. He reads his messages. He'll probably give you a fucking follow. Um, There was no animosity in my previous question about books. Did I detect animosity? I didn't think I did. I was mad at, the one other guy for giving some kinda he might not have even been giving comedy advice. I just couldn't really read what he was saying. It's just sometimes I get upset when people are like, "Dude, your last video sucks. You need to do more of this." And I just feel like they're not in a position to really, critique a video. But that's immature of me too, and I'm aware of that. That's why I've just stopped reading comments on the main channel. Um Sorry, I'm gonna find my place. Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. It is better than Think and Grow Rich. Awesome, man. I appreciate that recommendation. Thank you. When are you gonna make another video with the NorCal squad? I was gonna go up there and do 2 videos, but then the virus kicked in, and I can't stay with my parents up there because they're a little older and I don't want them to die. I also had one of the videos I was the most excited for. It was an NFL kicker parody, and it was gonna be so good, and I have to wait for schools to get back in session, so it's gonna be like an after summer video now. I'm upset. It's tough right now, guys, for my writing, for the content. I'm having to work around a lot. Outwitting the Devil, we already talked about that. Can't Hurt Me was a banger. Yeah, it's really inspiring, the David Goggins book. Yeah, 5G sounds sketchy, Corey Barker. I don't know anything about it, but from the Wikipedia article I read, it does not sound safe. Ever watch even watching Goggins episodes on JRE? Yeah, it's good stuff. Ski trip and Chris Body wants me to make a ski trip. I think once COVID settles down, there's no longer going to be any snow in most places. Have you read 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel? No, Luke, but I'm going to copy and paste this into Amazon right now. That sounds like some good shit, along with that other Napoleon Hill book. Peter Thiel sounds like a guy I want to learn from. It was Sigs, and I bought you a drink, bro, says Jake. Oh, he said Jake's talking about the fucking comedy show. Jake, that was NYC, right? Yeah, I would have taken a cigarette rip. I don't even know why I wouldn't have done that. I put my arm around you and sent a message to your girlfriend. Fuck yeah. I ordered like 5 shirts just before this whole quarantine bullshit started. Now the shipping is taking for fucking ever, but best be knowing I'm posting all of my Instagram. I'm sorry about that, Josh. That's all done out of New York. I have nothing to do with the shipping. So if anything goes wrong, guys, with merch, just hit up their customer service. I guess they're really fast and really good, and they'll take care of any issues you have. But Josh, thank you so much, man. The merch, the Patreon, again, that's what keeps the videos great. I'll pay for your Airbnb and liquor if you come to NYC once a year and do it. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, dude, I love NYC. It's tough to film. There's no open spaces, nowhere to really set up a hidden camera. I wouldn't want to live there. I used to have this love affair with it when I graduated college. I could see myself living in New York City, but now I think LA is the place for me. Yeah, man, that was what he's referring to is I did a video called "Don't Wear a Condom," and it was one of my early videos that was basically stand-up comedy. I'm afraid to do one of those now because they're short, and I just don't feel like it would be enough content for what people expect from me at this point. But there's some good jokes in there, man. The writing wasn't always bad. I mean, some of the jokes might have been pretty off, but I went back and watched the Why Guys Masturbate and was pleasantly surprised. You mentioned Dungeons& and Dragons. Have you ever played? I haven't, man. No, that was just, a reference to a strategy game. I've seen Johnny Marr live. You need to see that guy. He's unreal. Yeah, Johnny Marr, he's the guitarist of the Smiths people. the amount of good tunes they put out in such a short period. Fucking four Smiths studio albums. I just started listening to Strange Ways. Here It Comes, I believe the fourth album is, and I love it too. I started something I couldn't finish. Death of a Disco Dancer. Paint a Vulgar Picture. Danny, I got a fluoride scholarship to think that there are smart guys like you that like the channel for the elevated humor that we provide. Rat Dick Ralph is like the number one pick from the NBA draft that gets injured. Doesn't live up to his potential. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. He's the fucking who is he? Who's an NFL guy who just fucking bombed? Mitch Trubisky, Baker Mayfield. It's crazy. He was such a star too. There's this guy who made a Leo and Danny podcast clips show where he just cuts out clips and he makes funny little thumbnails and they're 3 minutes long on various topics we hit on the podcast. All of his Rat Dick ones have 6 times the views of all the other podcast topics. The Rat Dick Ralph podcast we did, where that's the clickbait and the title, has like 60,000 views, which is insane for our podcast. It's such a bummer, dude. But that's how it shaped up. Favorite beer? I like Stella Artois. Favorite Bukowski book? Asked you out. I love women. Caleby, you gotta like give me a phonetic breakdown of your name. I probably won't be able to get around to it tonight, but next week I'll give you a voicemail for sure, man. Will you ever get a midget in your crew? It's a little played out. Danny Duncan's got 2 midgets. Logan Paul's got a midget, but I probably couldn't say no if one really wanted to be in it. Crew Ultimate Fighter style tournament against another crew. Sounds pretty sweet, Kyle. I don't think I feel like my influence far exceeds my subscriber count and the views I get. So I feel like I'm on the level of all the million subscriber YouTube guys, but I feel like they wouldn't want to step down to fight me and risk their credibility because of my low stats. So I don't think Logan Paul and his guys would take the fight. Wait, Rat Dick's in jail? Yeah, he is, unfortunately. Woody accidentally leaked a conversation about buying out the manager as an owner. Kyle and the manager are close friends. Since so public, it'll probably come down to Kyle making the choice to. Wow, that doesn't sound good. I don't know who the manager is, but dude, it's so hard to keep a squad and a team together. So I feel their pain, is what I'm saying. That's a reference to the PKA podcast, what we just talked about. What's up, Danny? I love all your videos. They're only getting better. Could you do me a favor and tell my friend Chief to shut the fuck up? He'd love it. Hey, Chief, shut the fuck up. Quit being a bitch. And this is, I guess, a shameless plug. If you guys hit me up on Cameo, I do cameos where I'll do Graham, I'll do your voicemail next week, dude. I'm sorry, I got to write. So I'm trying to like wrap up right now. I started this late. I didn't even know if it was going to work. My grandparents live in Pahrump, man. They didn't know what the chicken ranch was until I told them, Caleb, you need to fucking come out to Pahrump, dude. Let's double team some whores. I'm down to do a part 2 hooker video. That's another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to get Rat Dick high on acid and get him a whore. Buy him out for the good of the show. Vatox is continuing the PKA thing. This sounds like some fucking complex drama. What other comedians do you like? Jimmy Norton, Nick DiPaolo, Louis C.K., Adam Carolla, Todd Barry, Artie Lang. Who else have I been watching recently? Dave Attell. Dave Attell's got this record called Skanks for the Memories from 2003. I've listened to it like 3 times in the past week just because I'm fascinated by how he does jokes. They're very traditional, and I feel like I'm learning a ton by listening to it. I want to write more jokes. It takes a long time to write a good joke, and it takes up literally seconds of a video. So it's more productive for me to write storylines usually. That's why sometimes I wish I could just be doing stand-up where I could just write jokes every night. But I love what I fucking do. Like the duck sheep video, yelling rape and Target. I'm so proud of that. And I realize that's a much more valuable video than probably 95% of stand-up specials. Like, I feel like most people are going to get more out of that video than watching Daniel Tosh, who's like a really good comedian. Like, watching his special is amusing, but I feel like some of the videos I make have like important things to say in them. And I love what I do, and I think it's an important service I'm doing, so I'm going to keep focusing on it. Guys, I don't have time to do too many more voicemails, but, when I'm fucking on here next week, when I get on here earlier, I promise I'll fucking just do whatever you guys want me to do. I appreciate you guys so much. Um, Lane Young, he's uploaded a couple videos, steady amount of views, watch time. Do you have any tips for getting my subscribers up? Dude, for me, making out with chicks was a fucking thing that drove a lot of views. And then also putting your videos on Facebook and paying big pages to share them, or getting big pages that need like you just washed up on the beach where you think you're in Madagascar or something. I think it could have potential with more writing. It needs some work, Jimbo. It needs to be workshopped a little bit. But I want to come out to fucking Tampa and watch the Buccaneers play now. I just abandoned them as my football team because they were getting too good, but goddamn, they're gonna be fun to watch next year. Will you ever revisit the Magical Mystery video? Asked Sam McFadden. McFadden, yeah, I think he must be a hardcore fan. He fucking remembers that. Yeah, dude, I would love to do that. I had a song written about like a dog like helping a guy dig up bodies to fuck. Any Nelk collabs coming soon? We were working on one, a jujitsu tournament video, but then the coronavirus shut down all jujitsu tournaments. So now we have to just wait and see what we can do together. What's your learning process when watching comedy? Not much, dude. When I'm really loving what I'm listening to and I'm tuned in and laughing, I'm learning. When it's some older comedy that I don't really understand, or it's just a comedian I don't think's too funny, I start zoning out and I don't learn anything. So basically, the answer is I watch stuff I really like, and that's how I learn. Sorry, guys. I got to kind of start fucking. I guess I can finish up. I'm trying to go fast here. Is Preston Aguilar in his real name? Yes. Picking up girls in a bookstores is classic, man. Nice, Caleb. I agree. I think that's a really good video too. Um, that video benefited from having all the time off in December. I had like 3 weeks off. And I know you guys probably don't like that because there aren't videos for a few weeks, but doing that, fuck, man, it makes the videos that are the comeback videos, like the jujitsu and the bookstore, makes those things really kick ass. And even when I just take a week off, that gives me so much it's such a mental stress release that I'm free to write the adventurous stuff like Yelling Rape and Target. I wrote that during like a 1 week hiatus where I took a week off from posting, and I'm probably going to take another week off soon so I can start writing again. You've been killing it 2020, most definitely. Thanks, Daddy Assassin. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. What's your favorite snack to make? Asks Isaiah T. Evans. Um, Favorite snack to make. What do I snack on all the time? Sparkling water and cashews, dude. But cashews make me shit myself like crazy. So I basically come to terms with having explosive diarrhea. I'm not leaving the house right now, so it doesn't matter. Are you a fan of Doug Stanhope? I am. I think he's a little overrated, though. I don't think he's that funny a bit. I was watching Richard Jenny, who's an old school comedian who I really love and just kind of discovered. Basically, Doug Stanhope's nationalism bit is fucking completely lifted from Richard Jenny. I don't think Stanhope stole it consciously. I think he probably watched Jenny and then ended up writing it. That's how comedy works, man. You have so many jokes that you've seen or heard floating around your head that sometimes you can't tell if they're your own or if they came from a 2008 Louis C.K. special, and you're not sure and you need to write, so they just end up on the page. That's probably what happened, but I do think Stanhope's overrated. Maybe that opinion will change when I start watching some more of his stuff. I saw Leo in a Lele Pons video. Oh, good for him. Whatever you got to do to get exposure. I think he used to work with like Hannah, whatever her cunty face is. If you want to get this UK thing sorted, message my Patreon or Insta. Tom W. Yeah, just message me on here, dude. I've got like 40 unanswered messages that I have to go through, dude. I'm so busy, guys. I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's so hard to even get my like weekly. I mean, I cannot badmouth Nelk at all, man. I'm sorry. I'm not going to, Abe. A lot of people I like and respect comedically use pop phrases that I make fun of. Like Churdley's uses pop phrases and like a lot of his videos and jokes. just because somebody goes against my sensibilities, it doesn't mean I hate them or don't respect them. I call Leo out when he says those things because he's my friend and I can. But I mean, honestly, dude, if I were a little more pop culture oriented, I'd get a lot more fucking views, is the truth. But my comedic sensibility is all I've got. So as far as my channel and my writing is concerned, I stay away from those things. But dude, I do love Nelk, and I was just watching one of their fucking Zoom videos, and it was hilarious. I respect those guys. It's not an act I'm putting on. I love Nelk, and those guys again, they did so fucking much for my career. Joao saying he loves my originality. I'm gonna try, dude. All I do is YouTube and comedy. That's all I care about. So I don't see why I'd be getting any worse. Why does your webcam look like I rub butter all over the lens? It's probably some either a vino or some stray ejaculate that ended up there. Favorite Smith song? Cemetery Gates. Worst town in America. Would definitely fly out from Canada to help you if Nico is being a pussy. Well, thank you, AH. Yeah, he is being a pussy right now with the coronavirus. Did you watch WrestleMania? I didn't. I don't watch wrestling really. Nothing against it. I just haven't gotten into it. The highest milligram of edibles I've had in one sitting on a trip with TJ Dillashaw, the MMA fighter. We had I don't know how many milligrams, just handfuls and handfuls of brownies and gummies, and I felt like I was in the bowels of hell for the entire ride back from Riverside, California to Sacramento. It was awful. How do you not get arrested when you pee on private property and do illegal shit and post it to YouTube? The thing is, Mark, the cops got to pick their battles. There are homeless people shitting on the street, fucking on the street, doing heroin on the street. Pissing on the street's not going to get you arrested. As long as I'm not destroying property or physically harming people, I mean, all I do is basically pester people verbally. That's the brunt of my content that's so controversial. And I mean, you saw it in the Fresno video, which was kissing gas station ladies. You see it in the That's Racist video. We get stopped by the cops in both videos. Both cases, we were sort of kind of trespassing. The cops, they get there. Oh, you guys are filming pranks? Yeah, we don't care. Just get out of here. That's all they say. I never crossed the line into hardcore illegal shit. I haven't seen Tiger King, Daddy. Have you Johnny Marr's newest shit? I don't listen to Johnny Marr solo, but I would be open to it. Um, did you ever see the Dirt on Netflix? Dude, I read the book The Dirt and I enjoyed it much more than the movie. Is Leo ever gonna spar someone? I fucking hope so, Kyle. He's gotta prove his fucking boxing chops. Danny, you should go to some random football practices and teach pass rush skills. Since you're the most dominant pass rusher on earth, I think it'd make for good content in the fall. Tyler, I fucking agree, dude. That sounds heavenly. That sounds so tight. Go to like a JC, like a well-respected JC with a bunch of big Samoan dudes who are probably going to go to like a Division One school. That sounds great. You get a tall, manly laddie in the crew, like fucking Leo. To be honest, man, you're the only YouTuber I watch. I appreciate that, Caleb. Thank you. Um, but can you say "fuck you, chaps"? Hey, fuck you, chaps. I can't say for long, but I just know you've gained so much inspiration from you. I love that your do-it-yourself attitude. I'm 17 and continue to work on my passion because of it. And thanks for 1/2. Not sure what that means, but Joe, yeah, hell yeah, man. That's a big part of my thing. Also, is it's comedy and being an asshole, but it's being a successful comedian through being an asshole and doing it on my terms and building up the infrastructure to do it. And that takes a lot of mental health practices, physical health practices, and I'm glad that you guys are picking up on that's a big part of the success. Uh, Yo, dog, when I mentioned bartering at massage parlors, I meant trying to pay the base price. Pretty depressing. Asked girls if she enjoyed it. She said no. She said felt in Canada like third world exploitation. Do you have present choice in the USA for? I'm a little confused, Malcolm. I'm sorry, but sparkling water, I like Perrier, and I'm sorry the jerk off experience didn't go well, I guess. Um, Thanks for the book recommendations. Think and Grow Rich, Fear Loving Las Vegas, and Women from Charles Bukowski. Hell yeah, man. My sister almost killed me for getting my black nephew to wear Free the Slave shirt on Twitter. Jimbo, dude, that retweet was fucking amazing, dude. Thank you so much for doing that. I was so happy when I saw that fucking that tweet come up. Digging Up Mother, Fun with Pedophiles, This Is Not Fame are pretty great books that might sway you on stand-up. I actually did read Digging Up, My Mother, and I enjoyed it a lot. That was probably one of the better things that yeah, that was one of my favorite Stanhope things. That was a really honest uh, look into a guy's life. So yeah, I forgot about that. Dude, I don't dislike Stanhope. Just people talk about Stanhope like he is the absolute greatest comedian of all time. And I saw him and Stanhope doing this thing called Backstage at the Green Room. And Stanhope was making jokes, and then Attell would make jokes. This is just off the cuff bullshitting with comedians. And it felt like an open micer sitting next to Attell. That's the like how funny Stanhope was in comparison. Was Andrew Judge TV ever not a nothing? He's still a nothing and always will be. I watched, yeah, Broderick. I watched the new Louis C.K. special. I talked about it earlier in the live stream, dude. Digging My Mother, written by Neil Strauss, the man. Hell yeah, Joao, The Dirt. I really enjoyed it. I like a lot of Neil Strauss books. The Game is fucking fascinating. I'm reading his rules of the game a little bit right now, and it's a pretty good uh like amalgam of various like social sciences and evolutionary psychology. It's a pretty good basic breakdown of how to get women and why the techniques he recommends work. So not a bad read. Are you going to make more content with Sam Pepper? Dude, I would, but I think he's pretty like into TikTok right now, and I just like don't give a shit about TikTok. So, but like I really enjoyed the video I did with him. Top 10 books for your Patreon for your patrons. Yeah, dude, I'll do that. Like a Ty Lopez reading list. I really love Ty Lopez's reading list he has on his site, and you guys could do worse than going and checking that out. So that's a good place to start. Thanks for the makeout tips, but I'm 16 and my mom watches my videos. Lane says about the YouTube channel he's trying to get off the ground. Yeah, dude, just other viral stuff. Get other viral shit going on that's not kissing, but that's still true to you and your sensibilities. So for me, like, ooh, watching the most viral TikTok videos would be blasphemy to my sensibilities. So, like, whatever your sensibilities are, stay true to those. That's always a good long run play. Can you say happy 3 months, Abby? Happy 3 months, Abby. How I adore having sex with your pussy. Can we get a Jackhammer Jeremy in a public gym video? That sounds pretty fucking funny, dude. It's gonna be a while though, because I think Jackhammer Jeremy's got to come in small doses. Is Danny Mull is literally evidence that you are happier when you're an asshole. People love not boring ass motherfuckers that live at the boring ass convention. Yeah, dude, I'm not even trying to be an asshole. I just try to be honest. And sometimes being honest means being an asshole in videos, just calling people out on the stupid shit they say and do. Highly recommended Tiger King. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks for all the questions, Danny. Live is dope. Thanks, man. How Jewish is Asian producer Ben? I think he's 50% Jewish. Hicks/Stanhope comparison equals barf. I think Stanhope hated Bill Hicks too, so he thought Bill Hicks was overrated. Dude, I feel like such an asshole saying any comedian is overrated or underrated because of the comparatively minor things I've done in my career, but that just is my opinion that I people talk about Doug Stanhope again like he is one of the titans, and I'm not sure about that. It's also I guess he might have broken a lot of ground. He's one of the guys who just does not give a fuck. And I don't know what stand-up comedy was like before he got popular. So maybe he influenced a new wave of dirtbags, and that makes him more important. Are you ever gonna get married, and would it be to Mudhole me? I think it's a little too early to say, buddy. I mean, I'm only 30 and I plan on living a lot more life before I get married. I'm from Oklahoma. Sorry, Mark. I think it's too early to think about that. I'm from Oklahoma, and what's crazy is Joe Exotic actually got 19% of the vote here for governor. I'm not sure what that means. Rules of the Game is the most is the science is the more scientific book than the game. He kind of goes more for balance, picking up women. Yeah, Joao's talking about Neil Strauss's two books, The Rules of the Game and The Game. The Game is just a story and a great one at that, and The Rules of the Game is a breakdown of how to get pussy. Reading a book called The Comic Toolbox, learning a lot about different kinds of comedy, but I want to learn more about sketch comedy. Any tips? Watch Saturday Night Live, watch The Simpsons to learn how to write good jokes. Jackhammer Jeremy should go to a zoo culture gym with Nell and mess with Bradley, Martin, like they've been doing recently. Dude, I would love to do anything with those guys soon. Hell yeah. Kenny versus Spenny is worth the watch. Not sure what that is. Do you have a quarantine workout regimen? I still run, Tyler, every day, or not every day. I run or lift weights in our home gym pretty much every day. I just do bench press and pull-ups and abs on like our hanging bar, and then I do a squat day and a deadlift day because we have a full like Olympic rack. Would probably do Kenny would probably do a video. Actually, I'm not sure who Kenny is. You should do a video where you just go balls out at the airport and go to the first flight available. Sounds kind of funny. Just buy like the cheapest flight, like on a fucking whim. Just adding this so you have to keep going. Thanks, Abe. All right, guys, I'm done for the night. I got to get to work writing, but this has been fucking rad, and I'll do it even better next time and get to more questions and more voicemails. Hopefully, this worked out. I don't know. This is the maiden voyage of lives.